I live in California, so we came quite a ways for this wedding. And I can remember the night that Deni told my wife Marla and me that she wanted to move to Tennessee. We were having dinner at our favorite Mexican restaurant in Brea called Cha-Cha's, and I was excited for her, but I was also sad. She was going to be moving away. So we did what we always do after Cha-Cha's. We walked over to 31 Flavors for ice cream, and the young perky gal behind the counter says, well, what can I get you, sir? And I said, do you have a flavor for depression? Exactly. Deni had been living with my wife and I for 7 months. And this was back in 2001 when COVID was in full bloom. So, in fact, the first week she was with us, she quarantined in our trailer in the driveway, having Instacart delivered to the door of the trailer. It's pretty funny looking back on it. But during the time she was with us, Marla, Deni, and I had lots of long talks in the morning over coffee. And Deni and I learned a lot about each other. We learned that we have a lot of things in common that neither of us really knew before. And as a dad, I was given a very rare and special gift. I got to know my daughter as a young woman. And it was truly one of the most special times of my life. Well, back to the dinner at Cha-Cha's that night. Deni told us about her plan to move and what she would do. And if you know Deni, this was not a short conversation. She had lists and check boxes and a timeline and a graph. And Marla and I had known for a while that the Lord had been calling Deni and preparing her to move to Tennessee. She had a job that was flexible, that would allow her to live here. She was going to move in with her mom for a while before she settled in her own place. And we were excited for her. So over a 4-day journey, we headed from California to Tennessee. And the first stop at a convenience store gas station, Deni goes in and buys a few things. And she comes out with the receipt. And her purchase had totaled $7.77. And she's like, this is a sign from God. Because God's number, for those of you who don't know, is 777. And indeed it was a sign from God. We saw his hand blessing that trip, and we obviously have seen his hand of blessing upon her as she has lived here in Tennessee. Well, fast forward a bit, and she finds a great group of friends, Amanda, chief among them, that she connected with, and she got a new job at a great company. And then the unthinkable happened. She met Stephen. And I remember the first picture that she sent me of him. I was struck by the kindness in his eyes and his warm smile. And I couldn't wait to meet him. And when I did, he was impressive. During our first time together, we sat and talked for a long time about our lives and our histories. And Deni was ready during that first meeting for him to ask me the question and have the talk. And I remember saying to her, Deni, what do you want him to do? Say, hi, my name is Stephen. I'd like to marry your daughter. Well, it didn't happen that way, but she didn't have to wait long. When I saw Stephen's number ring on my cell phone that November night, I knew this was it. It's a strange feeling as a father when you get that call. I thought I was ready, but I wasn't. And while the details of that conversation will remain between us, I can tell you that when you can pray with your future son-in-law at the end of a call like that, you know your daughter has found the right man. So Stephen and Deni, as you embark on your new life together, always remember that you're not living just for yourself anymore. Every decision that you make will impact the other person. And as the pastor said earlier, you made a decision today to commit your lives to one another. And you will make lots of decisions every day from now on that will determine the course of your relationship. The pastor also read from 1 Corinthians 13. And that passage of Scripture makes it clear that to love someone is to seek what is best for them. If you can keep that simple principle in mind, you'll be fine. Verse 8 of that chapter says that love never ends, or in some translations, love never fails. And that's my prayer for you both. In fact, that's our collective prayer, that your love for each other never fails and never ends. I love you both so much.
from the